Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Bannon or Airspeed Prime. I am the super moderator for Avatar The Last Airbender Online.com, and this is the episode commentary for episode 115, Bato of the Water Tribe, the 15th episode of Avatar The Last Airbender. And I suppose, like Jet, the first thing I should say about this episode is that it is probably one of the episodes lower down in my list of 61 episodes in order of preference. But like I said about many other episodes of Avatar, like The Great Divide and so on, I think every episode has a purpose, has loads of enjoyable moments in them, and this is just the same. There's some great character development for Sokka. We get introduced to a new minor character, a new animal in June and her Shirshu Nyla. And then here's the great way to open the episode here, with they're just looking around the forest looking for food, and they find a water tribe weapon, and this causes Sokka to have a flashback to near the time when his father left for the war. And it's interesting to note again, Katara is not wearing her new necklace that Aang made for her again. There's a few animation errors in the previous episode to do with that, and it's kind of continued on into this one. And then we get Sokka's once again his intelligence, how good a detective he is, and that he can track this fight from just like some scars on the trees, disturbed there. And they locate a boat from Hakoda's fleet, their father. And then we have this kind of nice scene at the start of the episode with Zuko and Iroh, which is Iroh teaching Zuko to be calm with the tea when they're interrupted by June here and her Shirshu Nyla. And then it's just a great way of introducing the way they animate and show us visually the kind of smell vision of the Shirshu is really well done, with the kind of trails of a different color, and then the kind of toxic Shirshu tongue, the way it can paralyze people for a while. And then we see this kind of creepy kind of thing with Iroh and June, where throughout the episode, Iroh's just really interested in June for some reason, quote unquote. And we see how eager Sokka was at a young age to follow the kind of path of his father and be a warrior. And we get to see Hakoda talk for the first time and see him for the first time. This is where he's given the task to protect his sister and the tribe. Someday you will, and that day is right now on the journey with Aang. And here we're introduced to Bato, one of their dad's best friends that they know. And rightly so, they've been away from their tribe for a long time. They care a lot about family, and since the Southern Water Tribe is so small, they're really close with everyone. So hence the kind of hug with Bato. And immediately we're introduced to the fact that they were kind of ignoring Aang straight away. Once again, the respect shown to the Avatar, really showing us just how big of a influence on the world the Avatar had, and having him back, it just kind of instantly brings up the kind of spirit everywhere he goes. Now we get the comparisons between Sokka and Hakoda from Bato, and realize kind of that Katara's story is all driven by her mother, and then Hakoda's story is all driven by his father. Which it kind of echoes Zuko's story, where he was raised by his mom, but his father sort of had the bigger influence on his life with kind of making him the way he is in this show. Katara still isn't wearing that necklace. It's just like a little continuity gaffe that they made. And again, just they do it so well where they've been with Aang a while, he's their friend, but they haven't seen Bato in like 2 years as it is. So they're focusing completely on him. And we know that Aang likes to show off, likes to kind of have attention on him. And here's another one of these trivia questions that I use a lot. The character here that June is arm wrestling is kind of like a reference to kind of Ryu from Street Fighter. And he appears in the finale. It's like the end of the second episode into the start of the third episode of the finale. And into the first episode, into the start of the second episode of the finale, we see him again. And as usual, she kind of like beats him up in a fight. There's just again some of the kind of like pop culture references in Avatar. And just the way like we know from earlier on that Angus's friend had like 3 copper pieces, and right there winning one arm wrestle won June like a handful of like gold copper pieces there. And then just the attitude of June, and her reaction to Iroh. Hear the thing, we'll pay your weight in gold, and then she goes up to him, your weight, and we've got a deal. Insulting Iroh. And there's a kind of like a big moment in the episode that we're expecting a message from her father, and Aang overhears this. He knows how much they care about their family. So he thinks that they're gonna kind of leave Aang in his journey and leave Aang to go off on his own. But you know, he leaves just as they say that they need to stay with Aang. He's the kind of more important thing now, which is a big thing for coming right here. They have to take Aang to the North Pole first. That's how much Aang has given them hope. And especially for Sokka accepting this, given how much he cares about his father. He has improved as a warrior at this stage, where he wants to still help Aang. You know, Aang walking out because of this, he's the one who gets the message first. Again, the well-constructed episodes of Avatar, as I often mention, about the story structure. And again, showing his kind of character flaw of attachment. He's already grown attached to Sokka and Katara. He wants them to stay on his journey. And it shows his kind of like immaturity still at this stage. In that, like, he just kind of ignores it. He doesn't even mention it to them. It is going to come out, but he kind of doesn't think about it. Think ahead. And there's the fortune teller and Miyuki again. And then there's kind of like little backstory on Miyuki, where you're just kind of wondering, wow, what could that cat have done that like caused the Fire Nation trouble, or is it just the fortune teller being crazy again. I mean, the herbalist, God, what was his name? And then this kind of moment here, where the superior of this town picks up the crumbled up map and just thinks of it as littering, showing Aang that like this is gonna come out eventually. He knows that he should tell them. Again, him covering up the tracks. The kind of the whistling, which at the like everyone should know that knows they're hiding someone. And I mentioned this in the very first commentary about this episode linking to the first episode. In the first episode, Sokka failed at navigating the ice fields in his canoe, but now we know he has improved as a warrior. He is more confident now because of this journey with Aang, and he's going to do the test here under the supervision of Bato, but which kind of like jagged rocks instead of ice, so kind of making it even harder, even more difficult. And then just to kind of the flirting between the fortune teller and Iroh, and as we know, he is a bit of a ladies' man. And then we get some of the culture here on the in the water tribe. It's very, very tribal. And then we see Sokka loses a bit of confidence. Wise for the steering. Brave for the mainsail. Trust for the jib. All these three things are like the key of this kind of ceremony, this rite of passage for water tribe people. You know, it's Team Avatar navigating this boat through here. Sokka showing off his leadership skills here, immediately taking command. And then the way Bato just kind of sits there calmly. And not used to kind of being on a ship. What does that even mean when Sokka gives out some very kind of nautical terms? And then we see the kind of like a near impassable section of rock. Even Bato sees the danger, but Sokka is so confident, he knows he can get over this even. He has the trust in his sister and friends to use waterbending and airbending to get them over. And we see that Sokka does pass. It is kind of really him becoming a man. He's taking command. And like the mark of the wise for Sokka, that is perfect for him. He is the intelligent one. Mark of the brave for Katara, because she is very brave, as we see. And mark of the trusted. And just this moment is so it's a ceremonial thing. So he knows he's lied to them, so he cannot go through with it still. But ultimately, throughout the series, we know that there is trust. Aang's kind of thing is trust. He trusts his friends. He kind of has to trust himself in the finale as well. And then we see how much Sokka cares about his father, and how much Katara cares about family now as well, where they both realize that Aang kept it from them. They make a kind of rash decision to leave and not kind of just talk about it, but you kind of understand, you know that like what Aang did was wrong, he made a mistake. but you do feel sorry for Aang, and also for you understand why they're doing it. They want to see their father. And then there he kind of like knows what he did was like silly, stupid, I mean, and he just said he has to go off on his own. And then again, going back to the construction of the episode, they both leave, go off in their separate directions. Um, Nyla is tracking Katara's necklace, so they're separated now, so they're in danger now. And Aang is the kind of main fighter of their group. So it kind of sets up kind of tension. They've got like a wounded warrior, a kind of young warrior who kind of still isn't that like good at fighting in Sokka, and then a waterbender who has kind of no formal training. And there's the kind of flashback of Sokka remembering that like he was left behind by his father, and then he realizes that like they were kind of too harsh on Aang. Aang was just kind of feeling in the same kind of position that Sokka was there, kind of getting left behind, and he kind of understands that. And I think that's a great moment for Sokka to understand that he was the one who kind of was very rash at the start, but he understands Aang's position. And, and Aang instantly realizes that when he sees scent, necklace, he knows that Katara and Sokka are going to be the ones who are captured. Who is being tracked, and he needs to get there. And then Sokka with a snappy comment. If Toph was here, she probably would have said that. And then this is just a really well constructed episode, but you know, Aang was the one who got the map. Now they track Aang back to the village, the abbey, or whatever it is. And like we were set up throughout this episode that they make perfume here. And then like amazing entrance from Aang, using air power to his advantage. Against like a ground based animal. And then we see like an animal fight here, pretty much like for one of the first times. You see Appa finally has a chance to fight someone. Nyla versus Appa. And this is one of the best moments of this episode. It's another amazing fight between Zuko and Aang. Again, we see more that Zuko is more able to hold his own more now than like the Warriors of Kyoshi or even like the first episode. He's learned so much. And once again, we see there Iroh coming to June's rescue, happy to help. And we just see that Appa has the more power in this fight between Nyla, but Nyla has the kind of quickness with the tongue, more of an advantage. I see the kind of intensity of Zuko here. He was the first one up after the kind of explosion. And we see the superior balance of Aang on top of the building here. How his airbending just helps so much in these kind of situations. You see Appa doing some airbending as Sky Bison are the original airbenders. Then just that kind of humorous moment in the middle of a fight scene. Sokko's just paralyzed, he gets some feeling back, and a building falls down on him. And again, a little reference to the perfume, and Iroh just like slyly steals some of it. And then coming back to the necklace again, Aang realizes that he has to do something to make it up to Katara and Sokka. So he decides he's going to get Katara's necklace back from Zuko. And it's this really amazing fight on top of the well with just fantastic footwork between the two. And Aang, with obviously having the better balance from being an airbender, just kind of gets Zuko into position, gets the necklace back. And showing off his waterbending a bit there. Kind of surprising Zuko. And then, this is where kind of you see Appa as a character here. You see, trying so hard, he wants to fight just like Aang, help get the best of Nyla to help in the fight. But he just goes down from the tongue lashes. Sokka's intelligence once again. And then we see how much Katara has advanced as a waterbender, even on her own. And then there's this, coming back to the kind of Nyla Shushu vision, just all the different perfumes, all the different smells, just make Nyla go mad. And then there's a kind of despairing scream from Iroh as June gets paralyzed, showing how much he likes her. And then just this moment, just to say how kind of creepy this is. Zuko's just like, I didn't see you get hit with a tongue. And I was like, shh. And here's where Aang missed the that part of the conversation. They need him. He matters more. Gives her necklace back. Well, her mother's necklace. That is why it's so important to her. And then just this little Katang moment at the end is perfect. And see Aang blushing. Katang ends the episode. So that has been the episode commentary for 115, Battle of the Water Tribe. 116, The Deserter is the next one.